So hello friends, those of you who have tuned in for today's Q&A session. So another Friday and another Q&A session here. It is for you. So if you're able to hear my voice, you can just raise your hand. You can just give me a heads up. Perfect. So I'm able to see a lot of joiners who have joined in this time. So it makes me really happy to see all of you guys who have tuned into today's session. So we'll just wait for 2 to 3 minutes and then we are good to go. Okay, so people, for the ones who have just tuned into today's Q&A session, so this is our weekly Q&A session that we host on every Friday at 4:30 till somewhere around 5 o'clock. So those of you who have tuned in now, you can just, if you have missed asking the questions, you can just type it in the chat box over here. So I'll be happy to answer them. Whatever queries that you have around algo trading, around SpeedBot, so I'll be happy to answer them. In the meantime, let me just go through other questions that we have and maybe we can start off this session. Okay, so I think we're good to go. So let's start with today's session. So the first question is from Kevin. So Kevin asks that I have a trading strategy in US based stocks and options and in crypto. So is it possible to automate such strategies on SpeedBot? So Kevin, to answer your question, what I'll do is I'll sign out over here. So over here, if you're login, so using your same India creds, you'll be able to log into the USA segment over here. That is on us.speedbot.tech. So over here, I've signed in to my US domain. Over here, let us say that if you have a strategy, right, that is in crypto or in the US stocks, then over here, you can just go to the bot builder. You can create an option bot maybe. Let's say if you have a strategy based on QQQ options or SPY, SPX, so you can have such execution being done for such algos. So we have the 0DTE contracts as well that are being supported, right? So these are the contracts on which you'll be able to create your algo. Now let us say that once you have developed your bot, you can backtest it from your end. That is, you can go to the menu and let us say that if you wish to have a broker, so these are the set of brokers that we currently support. For the crypto segment, we have the Binance Spot, Bybit, and such brokers. Apart from that, for the US markets, we have TD Ameritrade, Trader Live, Trader, right? So recently we have integrated the interactive brokers, so that is also something that you can look forward to, Kevin. And apart from that, you can have the US stock based algos as well over here. Whatever stocks that you can mention, you'll be able to create such bots in equity as well as in options for the US markets. So that's how you can create your strategy. So let me just go back to the Indian version. Okay, now let's move on to another question. Okay, so Jayesh has this question that what do you mean by trailing stop loss when you're using the option bot builder? So let me just explain, Jayesh, that what exactly it is. So let us say that if I'm creating an option bot with maybe the symbol as Nifty and the option leg as, yeah. So let us take an example that I'm buying a call option in the buy direction for the ATM contract. And let us say that if I want to have the stop loss at somewhere around 50 points, right? Just to make things easier, let me just buy the contract that is currently being traded at 100 rupees and the stop loss at 50 points, right? So whenever the market reaches 250, my stop loss gets hit, right? Now if I want to enable the trailing stop loss feature, right over here, I'll just select this particular option. So I'll be able to see two fields over here, right? So what does this two fields mean exactly? So let us understand it first. That is, if I'm saying that if I want to have a 25 points of movement in my stop loss, right, by 25 points in my profit, this means that whenever the option that I've bought at 100 rupees, it goes to 125, right? For every 25 points, my stop loss, which was earlier at 50 points, it will get reduced by 25 points. That is, when the market reaches, first time the market reaches at 125, so this particular stop loss, which was at 50 points, it will get reduced to 75 points. Likewise, when the market reaches at 150, that is my profit reaches at 150, so this will come to 100. That is the decremental 25 points movement in my stop loss. So this is how you can mitigate your risk. So this is something that you can do on the leg level basis as well as on the set level basis, strategy level basis as well. So in order to do that, you'll have to do the same. That is, you need to have the strategy stop loss. So that is must over here. So that's how I hope you understand how the trailing stop loss works now. Okay. So next up, the question is from Mr. Shiva. So Shiva asks that what is the difference between re-entry and re-execution? Okay. And is it possible? So he has two questions, that what is the difference between re-entry and re-execution, and is it compatible with the TradingView options bot? So for those of you who are new to our platform on SpeedBot, so let me make you understand that SpeedBot currently supports automated execution for TradingView strategies. Let's say if you have a buy sell alert or a Pine script code that is deployed on TradingView that generates the buy sell signal, then you can automate those set of alerts and execute it in your broker account. How you can do that? Firstly, over here, as you can see the TradingView symbol. So let me just name it as TradingView. TradingView alert bot. And let me just save it first. I'll just save it from my end. You can follow these steps in order to configure your trading bot first. TradingView bot. And over here, so what type of TradingView bot would you like to create? So do you have a Pine script indicator or a Pine script strategy? So the indicator only contains the buy sell alerts in the code, whereas the strategy consists of the buy sell alerts plus the risk management and the entries and the exits. That is the take profit and stop loss levels. Also, you'll be able to define it and backtest it in the TradingView environment itself. So it basically depends on which type of code you're using. Let's say if you're using the indicator, then over here you can follow the instructions such as you need to create an alert. You can click on the next button. You need to copy this particular message and paste it over here in the message itself. You go to the next, you copy this connection URL that establishes the connection between your TradingView alert and SpeedBot. Now you go to next, and how many entries would you like to take whenever there is a signal being generated, right? So these are the limit of entries that you can define from your end, and same way you can do it for the exit signal. Let's say if you have the entry signal configuration, the same way you can do the exit signal configuration as well for your strategy. And once you save it, then over here you will be able to see the integration icon for TradingView with SpeedBot. So let us say that if we have a TradingView alert that generates the signals, right? That signals are over here, and whenever the signal satisfies, we'll be buying this particular option. That is, let's say if we are taking an example of the moving average crossover, right? So whenever the buy signal comes, so I tell my algo that I need to buy a 100 rupee call option contract with stop loss of 50 points and TSL of 25 and 25, right? So that's how I'll be able to get such type of bots automated. Now coming to the question is that, is there any possibility that the re-entry can happen or not? So over here, as you can see, there is an option of re-entry. So firstly, let us understand what exactly the re-entry and re-execution is. So basically, let's take an example that somewhere around 9:20, we buy this call option contract of strike price maybe 24,200 to take an example, right? So whenever the stop loss is hit for the 24,200 call option, then we'll be entering again in the same contract, that is of 24,200. So that is the re-entry. Now, if I wish to take an entry, that is a re-entry on the contract that is based on the latest market prices ATM, right? So that is being traded on the basis of the current ATM. Then I'll be able to check the re-execution. So that's how it is. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Okay, so Dhruv asks that what type of strategies can be created in the option bot builder? So this is a pretty basic question that every user has when he or she comes onto SpeedBot. So to answer your question, Dhruv, so let's say if you are an equity trader and you trade equity markets, so you might have strategies around the intraday based segments, around the positional based segments, right? So such type of equity strategies can be created. How you can do that? Over here, you can just go to the bots, and over here you can create your equity bot. So you can do it for the intraday basis time frame, for the positional basis time frame. Over here, whatever based on your trading profile, you can have the set of time intervals being selected, so you can trade such time frames. I hope this makes sense. Apart from that, let's say if you are an option trader, so over here you can create your options bot. So based on your trading profile, let's say if you are trading on intraday basis, you can just have the intraday based entries and the exits, or else on positional basis if you wish to have, or on BTST or STBT, that is you're entering into a trade today and exiting it the very next day, that is on tomorrow. So that's how you can create such type of strategies in our builder. And to make things a dive deeper, what you can do is, let's say if you have strategies based on the indicators, so we have the technical trading indicators built in as well for the equity segment as well as for the option segment. So over here, just like the equity builder, whatever time frame that you need, over here you'll be able to see the time frame right from the 1 minute till 1 day, and you can add the conditions. So these are the indicators that we support. So these are mostly the known indicators that we have, right? So based on that indicator, you can create your option buying, option selling, or hedged bots on our platform. And not only that, once you have created the bot, you can backtest it from your end. And once the backtesting is done, then in the live markets, you can assess it by using the forward test feature that we have on SpeedBot. So I hope it makes sense to you, Dhruv. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So Vishwas has this question that how can we create a positional algo in stocks? So just to give you a heads up, Vishwas, that you'll be able to create the long only bots as well. As you know that in India, short selling isn't supported for the equity segment on positional basis, that is on carry forward basis. So you'll be able to create such equity bots over here. Let's take an example that positional equity bot. Let's say if I'm checking the 1 hour time frame, and if I wish to select all the stocks that are in the Nifty 50, I can go over here, long only, and over here I can add my moving averages. Maybe it could be the crossover and everything else. Let me just have the target, the stop loss. So this is just for the sample purpose. Maybe I'll define the quantity. In the order type, I'll select the market, and instead of the MIS, I have to select the NRML. I'll go to continue. Yeah, and over here I can define whatever entry and the exit time I want, let's say during the markets, right? And once I click on the save and backtest button, so that's how my positional bot will be created. So I hope it makes sense to you. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So next question is from Wasim. So Wasim has this question that how to take entries and exits based on the movement of the index or the underlying. So this is a pretty good question. So Wasim asks that he has created an algo that is that takes entries and exits on the basis of the movement of the underlying, that is on the underlying symbol. It could be Nifty, Bank Nifty. So how can we replicate it on SpeedBot? Let us see that. So I'll go back to the option bot. Over here, let's say if I'm shorting a put, but I'll be shorting a put whenever there is a momentum in my index or in my spot chart. So over here, you'll be able to see the points and the percentage for the UL. So UL is basically the underlying. So if I were to say that if the underlying is somewhere around 0.4% after 920, then I'll be entering into a put position which I'll be shorting for the current week expiry. Right, so whatever things that you need. Apart from that, this was for the entries. Apart from that, let's say if you want to take the same conditions for the exits, then you will be able to do it from your end. That is based on the underlying. When the underlying reaches a certain percentage, then you wish to exit your targets or your stop losses. So that's how you'll be able to make an entry and exit using the underlying feature that we have. So I hope you got it clear. Okay, so next question, it's from Amit. Amit says that I want to understand how range breakout works. Okay, so range breakout is a pretty good concept that SpeedBot has in its option bot builder that you guys can use. So let's continue with the same example that we are shorting a put for current week expiry, and the range breakout over here, if I just select this particular option, then as you can see, I have some parameters that I can look forward to. So let's understand what exactly are these parameters first. Yeah, so over here, the time says 9:15 to 10. I can change this time from 9:15 to maybe 9:20, and this has the high and low marked, right? So what exactly does this mean? We'll understand it first. Firstly, let us understand this. That is from 9:20 till 10 o'clock, whatever high that the contract made, that the option contract made, right? So that will be considered as a data point, as a value. And once that is breached, it means after 40 minutes, that is after 10 o'clock, whenever that maximum value or maximum high is breached, then we will enter a short position for the put side. That is, will go bullish, and we expect that there has been a breakout which is breached, and now I can enter into a position. So you can create two types of strategies and range breakout bots on our platform. That is, one on the basis of the options contract and two on the basis of the underlying. By default, the selection for the range breakout is done for the option contract. But let's say if you want to check out on the basis of underlying, then you need to tick this checkbox out. So that's how you can get this done. You can repeat it for the call side as well in order to look for the long short position. Perfect. So next question, it's from Mr. Swami. So Mr. Swami asks that, is it possible to create a positional bot in options? So to answer the question, Mr. Swami, let me just add a fresh leg, maybe somewhere in Bank Nifty. And yeah, so over here, let's say if I want to have a positional bot created for the option segment. So over here, I am selecting the positional bot. And over here, let me just keep the settings as it is. If I scroll down over here, then I'll be able to see the settings for my positional bot. That is, whether I want to get this done for the weekly expiry or for the monthly expiry. When do I want to enter into a position? So over here, I'm seeing some particular days and exit time. Along with the entry, you need to define the exit as well. So on which day I would like to exit. So currently I'm only able to see the one option, 00. So let's understand what these days are. So talking about the entry, let us take an example that we are buying the call option ATM for the current week expiry and trading it for the current week. So let us say that if I want to take an entry 4 days before the expiry, that is on a normal expiry day that happens on every Wednesday for Bank Nifty symbol. 4 days before is the Thursday, technically the previous week's Thursday, that is 4 days before the expiry, right? So if I select this, it means that on this Thursday, I'll be entering into a trade and exiting it on the day of the expiry. That is on expiry day. On next Wednesday, I'll be exiting it. So let's take an example that today is Friday, right? So if I were to enter into a trade, so I'll just select the 3 days. That is on the third day of the expiry. Before the expiry happens, I'll enter into a position and I'll exit it on the expiry day. So that's how you can create a positional algo bot. Let's say if you wish to add some sort of indicators as well, you can just mix it up and test it, and then you can make it live. So it is possible. Mr. Swami, I hope it makes you clear. Okay, so let's do 2 to 3 questions. Let's take 2 questions and then we'll wrap up this session. Okay, so I see a question from Mohammed Sohail. So you have a question that does it provide buy or sell signals? So to answer your question, basically, if you have a trading logic, right, it could be on the basis of the indicator or price action based, right? So once you feed that logic over here in the builder, option bot builder, or in the equity builder, then it will throw the buy sell signals and execute it in your broker account, but the logic has to be yours. So for someone who is very new to algo trading, what you guys can do is you can just go to the templates, head over to the template section. So over here we have the ready to use strategy templates that you can use in order to understand how the entries and the exit signals work in algos. So let us take an example that if I were to select this particular template, you can read and go through the conditions that on what basis the strategy template is created. And over here we have the logic as well disclosed. So based on your understanding, based on your need, you can just check out over here and you can just build this particular bot. So that's how all the conditions will get populated like this. Once you click on save and continue, then you'll be able to test it from your end. So this is for a beginner who wishes to do Algo. So I highly recommend you to go through our template section. So let's go with one last question and then we'll be able to wrap up this session. Okay, so I have a question from Mr. Gopal. So Mr. Gopal asks that what kind of data analytics does SpeedBot provide? So what kind of reporting do we provide? So to answer Mr. Gopal's question, let's say if I have a bot over here. So let's take an example. So over here, perfect. So this is the analytics data analytic report that I've opened over here. So as you can see, whatever things that you have defined in your bot, you'll be based on that, you'll be able to see the position, the order book, and all of these things are completely automated. You need not manually input any sort of things, right? So let us say that if you were to keep your trading journals, then you can get rid of those trading journals and get the automated trading journal over here itself. As you can see, the tagging, that which was your entry, which was your exit orders. Apart from that, you can have the trade statistics as well. How many trades were the winning, the loss making trades, the trade duration, the average trade holding period for the winning as well as the loss making. Apart from that, the advanced statistics, that is the win rate, and other metrics such as the Sharpe ratio, the CAGR, and every stuff around this. So just to give you a heads up that those of you who have joined in, let's say if you are building a bot on SpeedBot and somewhere down the line you are stuck. So what you can do is you can click over here, that is the develop with experts button. Whatever issues that you have, you can just raise a ticket that I am stuck creating my EMA crossover algo. Just for an example, can you please help? And now, apart from that, you can just upload the file. You can just share the attachment, whatever you need. And over here, you can click on the submit button and it will directly go to our experts like this. That's how you'll be able to get it. Yeah. Okay, so I see a question from Vinay. So Mr. Vinay asks that is it possible to develop Nifty Bank Nifty futures based algo? Of course, it will be. So currently this is something that we got a lot of queries to, and soon we are launching this. So let me just let you know about the exact date, but for sure this is something that will be launching soon. I hope it makes sense to you. Okay, so I think that calls for a wrap, and we have answered a lot of questions in today's Q&A session, and I believe that next week we'll be joining again, same time, and let's hope that we get another round of good questions like we had today. So thank you for joining in today's session, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much.